Watch me desperately try and shoehorn a Halloween episode into April's springtime reading. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife, and today I am once again playing my friends-based TBR game so that I can decide what it is I'm going to be reading in April. Every month since January, I've spun the wheel and I have picked out 5 episodes with 5 books that I am going to be trying to read across the month. Sometimes there are episodes that will fit into the theme of what the month is about, and April has got one. In the one with the Halloween party, Chandler dresses up as the Easter Bunny, and because Easter is in April this year, I thought it would be a good episode to put in for the list. Except that this one is about a spooky read. So I needed to go a little bit kind of deeper into the bookshelves than I was expecting to, because I was thinking this would be full of pastel colors, of light, of fluffiness, and then we gotta go spooky. The other challenge is that I don't really read a whole lot of spooky stuff. I don't read a lot of horror or gore or anything like that. So I've gone a little bit kind of bending the rules of my own game. For it, I'm going to go with Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. This is going to be my first ever Gillian McAllister book, and it's following Camilla, who lives in London with her husband and their young daughter. He goes off to work one day, having dropped their daughter off to nursery, and then she sees an item on the news. Liam's office has been taken hostage, and Camilla is just waiting for the call that tells her that he is okay, he's not been caught up, or that he is one of the hostages being taken. However, the call that she gets completely spins her world, because Liam is not one of the hostages. He is the person actually holding everyone hostage. I'm so intrigued as to what this story is going to be about. I think it came out around the end of January, and I've seen a couple of people who I know and love that have really loved this book, so hopefully this is one that's going to work for me too. Now that the shoehorning is done, let's take a look at what the wheel decided I needed to read to. First up is the one where Eddie moves in, where you need to read your most recent purchase. So I took a look at my call sheet and had to look at what my most recent book buy was. That was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which I've actually read. So I went to the second most recent, and that was Priest by Sierra Simone. This is a complete departure for me. This is going to be a much darker, much more steamy romance than anything I think I've ever read before. I am intrigued as how this is going to go. As somebody who grew up Catholic in a very predominantly Catholic country, somewhere that is traditionally and stereotypically Catholic, but I have moved away from the church in my adulthood. I'm so intrigued as to what this is going to awaken for me. I've heard that this is like Fleabag, but much more sordid, and I absolutely adored Fleabag, so I'm here for this. Up next was The One Where Rachel Has a Baby Part 2, where you need to read a book that is a new beginning. This can be interpreted in a couple of ways: a new author, a new genre, your most recent purchase, a new series that you want to start. And I have gone with the new author route. I am going to take one of the Kristen Hanna books off of my shelf and I'm going to read The Nightingale. This will also fit into the Buzzword Challenge by Kayla from Books and Lala, because Nightingale is a creature. I am so intrigued as to what Kristen Hanna books are going to do for me. I know she writes a lot of historical fiction, and I know that The Nightingale is one of her most famous, if not most famous, books. I am intrigued. I'm not entirely sure what I'm getting myself into, but I have got 4 books by Kristen Hanna on my TBR, and I need to know if I have wasted the money that I spent on them, or if this was an investment that I can stand behind. Next up is the one with Ross's teeth, where you need to read a book that has a bright cover. But this one I have gone with Before We Forget Kindness by Toshikatsu Kawaguchi. All of these books just scream out pastel spring vibes to me. This is set in a small little cafe in a back alley in Tokyo where you can travel backward or forward in time, but there are a very specific set of rules that you need to follow. I've absolutely loved all of the stories that are in these books. It's 4 connected short stories rather than a one continuous narrative, but all of the books all have something that will tie them in together. I think as of now, this is the most recent book that's been published in English, but there is another book coming in the series in Japanese, and I am so intrigued to see where the story is going to take me this time. Finally, for the one with the invitation, you need to read a book that was given to you by a friend. And I am going with The Duke and I, the first book in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn. I got all 8 of the Bridgerton books from my friend about April or May of last year, so they've lingered on my TBR for over a year by this stage. I need to go and read them because I really want to watch the series, but I'm a bit of a traditionalist and I need to read the book that it's set on before I can go into any other media about it. But I have read some of this book and I know what a specific trigger is that happens about 70 or so percent of the way through this book. I'm hoping that now that I know it's there and now that I'm prepared for it and I know it's going to happen, maybe it will make it a little bit easier to read. That is how my April reading is looking, all thanks to my friend's based TBR game. Is there any book on that you think I need to start off with? Or what is a book that you are going to read to keep you company over Easter weekend? If you'd love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me the emoji of a chick hatching from an egg. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.